those of you lawyers and those of you lecturers who are busy advocating free scale, mass admissions into professional law course, mass production of professional lawyers, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. So long as I have anything to do with it, it won't happen. Because just like you cannot mass produce doctors and surgeons, you must not, Ghana must not have mass produced lawyers imposed on them. If people want to do their own law practice, they can go on the internet. The members of the public can go on the internet and turn themselves into lawyers if they want to, for their own purposes.
The CJ simply got it wrong. Simply got it wrong. And still steeped in the colonial mentality of a favored profession where entry must be restricted. That's the thinking of the CJ.
I was listening to the CJ.
Right.
I think she's too conservative.
But it's a conservative profession.
Oh, it's a profession that must grow with society and be in touch with the modern times.
Following this mass failure, the Ghana School of Law students picketed Parliament and presented a petition to the leadership.
A whole lot of issues, and we also don't think that, I keep on saying that, the inquiry shouldn't just be about only what the students are also claiming. They should also talk to the lecturers, we should also talk to the members of the Independent Examination Council, and we should all address the problems. We should know what the problems are. There should be that feedback, there should be that roundtable discussion, and that we hope that the particular issues that you have stated are addressed.
But mainly your concern is that the rates of failure at the law school are high.
It's too high.
Isn't it a case of students not learning what they are supposed to learn, which is causing this?
It's not true at all. It's we've had the same lectures there. Because of the process, mostly it's the best students who end up in the law school. So if out of the best students, like a set of the best students in the country, just 10% are passing. We have the best of legal brains in the country teaching us. We have Supreme Court judges teaching us. We have Courts of Appeal judges teaching us. We have astute lawyers. Some of them have taught in the law school for 25 years. So you can't say that their outputs for the past 20 years, if you compare the output for the past 20 years, compared to the last 2 years and what is coming out, you really clearly recognize that there's a disconnect.
In 2019, The Student Representative Council of the Ghana School of Law further petitioned the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to set up a commission of inquiry into legal education. However, the President responded, refusing the request and directed that the issues be handled by the Chief Justice. The events that followed took the nation by surprise.
If people want to do their own law practice, they can go on the internet. The members of the public can go on the internet and turn themselves into lawyers if they want to, for their own purposes.
Fast forward to September, only 128 of the 1,820 candidates who sat for the entrance exams were published as those who had passed.
Today will transcribe into history as the day that we came out in our numbers to resist oppressors' rule. Now what you should understand is that maybe you are doing this emotionally, maybe not, but we are not doing this for ourselves. We are doing this for posterity's sake. Because in the future, people should be able to come to law school and have quality legal education that does not oppress them.
The California bar exam, which is considered the most difficult exam in the US, does not have a 93% failure rate. If you go to some of the poorest public schools in this country, when they write their WAEC exams, they don't have a 93% failure rate. It is impossible. I can tell you that right now. It is statistically impossible for 93% of law students to have failed that exam. It's not possible. So if they say we have failed, fine. We have failed. Publish the marking scheme. Publish the markings, release the scripts. Let's go for our remarking. If we have failed, you have nothing to be afraid of.
This is a process to ensure that justice delivery in our country is enhanced. It is coming at a time when the Chief Justice has become a threat to justice and legal education in our nation. It's important that all well-meaning citizens of our nation rise up to say that, look, enough of the exclusive legal system that is in place to ensure that the mass of our people can participate in legal education. What we hear the Chief Justice say is that legal education should be restricted and that a chunk of our society should be denied the opportunity to access legal education. And this deliberate attempt is not that the students have failed, but that it is deliberate from the part of the Chief Justice to ensure that many are not able to go through the system. And I think that it is unfortunate.
I mean, this is the very first time in my life that I've seen law students demonstrate. So in this really demonstrates the seriousness of the issue. We are fully appreciative of the immensity of the matter.
No, hold on, what's about that? Hold on, let me hold on. Hold on!
As we are doing at the moment, you saw us, we are coming only for us to see armed policemen blocking us from entering or going ahead and proceeding to the Jubilee House. Mind you, they are saying that we didn't comply, but we wrote to them on 27th of September, that's 8 clear days notice. And for the Public Order Act, you are supposed to inform them. They called us for a meeting, we went, and they told us that we should cancel our demonstration. We said no, lectures have been cancelled, plans are far advanced, so we can't cancel, so they should do what they can do and support us. We wrote a letter back to them telling them that we cannot cancel, so we are going on as planned. And they pay the Public Order Act, they are supposed to come and support us. Then they told us that they didn't have manpower. When we were at the AG's office, they brought a plethora of men to come there. Now you don't have manpower, but where is this manpower coming from?
I was standing with a student before I realized one policeman holding a small gun. It's not an AK-47. The police are saying it is called a shocker or whatever it is. I don't care. But he just started firing. Bo, 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 bo. I tried recording with my phone. He threatened to damage my phone, so I put my phone away. My cameraman was just beside him, and he shot him. The thing hit his hand. And the police around are insisting that it is not a gun. It is not a gun. He has not been shot. They've taken him away in the police car. They claim they are taking him to the police hospital to examine him whether or not he's been shot or not. But the person he's injured, and we can see the wound on his mouth.
After the police brutality and preventing the submission of the petition to the President of the Republic, the students submitted a copy of the petition to the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress and former President John Mahama.
Express my regret at the treatment you've been subjected to.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Excellency.
And to extend my sympathies to those who've been injured and also those who have been put in detention, who have been arrested. You are our children, and I believe that as young people, as you are, everybody should have the opportunity to pursue the career of their dreams. And all avenues should be opened to make it possible for young people to realize their full potential.
Allows only 7% of people to pass. It's problematic. I am part of the 128 of 20 people that passed. But I'm on the street because I believe that it just is a problematic system for 128 out of 1,820 people to pass an exam.
Do you think the public understands and sympathizes with you?
We think that to a great extent, the Ghanaian people are beginning to understand our issues. And you can tell that from the solidarity messages we had from people. We had various large group of people.
But you couldn't see the president. You couldn't see the Attorney General.
Yes.
You couldn't see the Chief Justice. You ended up giving your petition to the Canadian High Commission.
Well, actually, we went to the Canadian High Commission because the Ghana Police Service had murderous intents on us.
They had murderous
intents.
Kwakwaza here, Stan Usaibunsu here. 128 over 1820 is a bona fide scam and sham.
I am respectfully submitting that if we do a proper needs assessment, we will come to the conclusion that between ministries, departments and agencies, district, metropolitan and municipal assemblies, the judicial system and its courts, and of course private legal practitioners as well as the parastatal state enterprises, there are far many more people who are required for the legal sector. And if we then do this study, it will lead us to two. If the Ghana School of Law is not presently able to handle the numbers, the people who train, the people who go out to train, the people who come to train as lawyers can train at a professional legal education. In other words, Mr. Chairman, the General Legal Council can partner with and accredit some law schools to offer the delivery of professional legal education.
There is a need for a holistic approach to the reform. Any piecemeal approach will not work. If we are looking at a piecemeal approach that says that a law faculty A doesn't have what it takes to train, right, and law faculty B has what it takes to train, we will probably end up, having this conversation maybe a decade down the line. We need to have a very holistic approach to the issue of legal education reform.
What I like about this is the recommendations. And actually, if you look at it, the recommendations were time-bound. So by now, the various faculties must have responded to the queries the General Legal Council and National Accreditation Board raised.
Why do we have so many people seeking to do law? In 1958, we were about 4 or 5 million. Today, we are supposed to be about 30 or so million. We open up the space for education on all levels. And indeed, as the economy expands, you would need the legal dimension to it. So it's obvious that we must open up the space.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know